So then, all of these core skills, as we know, are about getting the front end up onto and over features in the trail. They're all really good things to have bagged, and they're going to help you flow through the trail. Now, it is nice to be able to do big long manuals, however, it is a bit superfluous on the trail. We don't really need to lift the front wheel that high or hold it up for that long. But how do we do it? How do we do a manual? Let's have a look at some of the key points that we're going to get into there. In some of these previous clips, you'll see me rolling along, stood tall and proud. That's what I refer to as that neutral stance. I'm ready to react to anything that comes up on the trail. I'm going to compress at the knee, put pressure into the pedal by lowering my hips forwards and downwards slightly. You'll see the shoulders come forward slightly as well. From this explosive position, I can accelerate the bike out in front of me, and I'm really doing that. Think about snapping out a tablecloth or shaking out a dust sheet. That's the kind of shape I'm going to make with my arms. I'm going to throw the bike out in front of me. I can bring the legs into play by kicking the bike on out in front of me. As that jets forward, inevitably it's going to stop. It's going to hang up. Why? Because it's attached to me. It's at that point that the front wheel wants to rise up the way. We're going to help that by being under the bar, similar to the wheelie, getting underneath that to start the lift. And if we're not lifting that high, that's enough. If we're lifting quite high, we end up with our fingertip grip again, as we were with the wheelie, and that's why it's good to learn those wheelies first, because you get those shapes correct. You also get used to being up in that neutral balance point. As with wheeling, no front brake, covering the back brake, because we may need to modulate that if we go to loop out. You don't need to be doing that big long manual as I did in my first demo. In the second demo, it's much shorter, much snappier. The wheel comes up less high, doesn't travel as far. That's the one really to bag. The key thing with both of these styles is that you're really trying to avoid bouncing the fork. If we're in rough terrain, any compression through the front end of the bike is going to give you a potential stall. So don't get into the habit of using that suspension fork to bounce up off of. Just look at BMX riders, full rigid, little 20-inch wheels. They don't have anything to bounce up of in that sense, and they're definitely using more of a street style manual than you do on your mountain bike. But the key is, if you can even just tickle a little bit of weight out the front end, it's going to help you glance over things and clean the holes and the lumps and bumps in the trail a lot better. So get out there, get on the trails, and put that into practice. You can see some of that coming up in these clips.